Today on the podcast, we've got Michael from Celebrity Cruises. So welcome to the podcast, Michael.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You're very, very welcome. I think Celebrity Cruises is one of those kind of big names that lots of people have heard of, but we want to find out a little bit more from the horse's mouth. What separates Celebrity Cruises from some of the other cruise lines?
Wow, it's a big question because a lot of people say to us that have never cruised before, it's their celebrities on board. We like to treat, and we like to treat everybody as if they're a celebrity. But I'd say what separates us is definitely we have our brand pillows that everything we do is really focused on brand pillows. And some of them being, well, I'll just give you a couple to talk about, be our design on board our ship. So our design on board our ship it's sea facing. So we have lots of floor to ceiling glass, really connecting with the sea, which may sound a bit crazy when you say that because it's a ship at sea, but there is a lot of ships that are built with not a lot of outward facing restaurants and open spaces. So that's when people say, oh, I could feel a bit claustrophobic on a cruise. So it's definitely our design. We use amazing designers. So I think the ones we'd be familiar with in the UK is Kelly Hoppen. So Kelly Hoppen designs all of our interiors. So beautiful colourings of the staterooms and all of the public areas, even down to our crew areas as well. So I'd say definitely design. I think when people go on our ships, they are wowed by the design on board, the artwork on board, everything, the attention to detail is second to none. Also, I would definitely say for foodies, we are really up on our culinary experience when on board Celebrity Cruises. So if that's from the buffet restaurant, our Ocean View, which you can dine around the world every day, all day if you wish, or if it's down to our specialty restaurants where we have the Petit Chef on board, which is a 4D animation show dinner, which is fantastic, and it's the only one at sea. And actually, I think there's only one restaurant does this 4D animation. It's in London. So to have it at sea, it's that kind of bucket list things to do whilst you're at sea. So then people are looking for the experiences of our culinary experience. We have a Michelin-starred chef, Cornelius Gallagher, which is our Michelin-starred guide for everything that we do with our food. Obviously, what goes well with food is wine. So we have the most wine at sea, and we have a wine tower in our main dining restaurant on our Solstice class ships that holds around 1,800 different bottles of wine. So if you like your food and you like your wine, we have the more sommeliers at sea than any other cruise line as well. So we will pair the wine with your dinner and with each course. And, if you do a drinks package, like all of that's included in. So it's a real culinary experience when you are on board. Every meal is different. So I'd say culinary, design, and the destinations as well. So although it's a cruise ship and you think, well, I'm going to all these different destinations, what we do as a brand is we try and get you into the port as early as possible and leave as late as possible, so you can really experience and go further into that destination. And one thing that we do at Celebrity Cruises, do this worldwide, is we do overnight stays. So you could be in places like Copenhagen or Iceland in Reykjavik, and we stay there overnight. So what that means is, you'll agree, if you go on a city break, it's like Ibiza town is very different in the day to what it is at night time. So it's great. It definitely is. And also in Reykjavik, you can stay and hopefully see the Northern Lights at night time. So we do about connecting with the destination. So definitely our destination offering as well.
Yeah, I think sometimes with the cruise ships, it's a bit of a in and out within a couple of hours. And I think that's why sometimes sort of more seasoned cruisers don't bother getting off at certain ports because it's not kind of really, really need. But if you're going to be in there and you're going to have that whole day to go off and explore, and even an overnight as well, then to go do a Reykjavik, a couple of nights stay there, it's not a cheap thing to do. So if you're doing it as part of a cruise, you are hitting off quite a few sort of different cities and different ports in each one.
Yeah, and you're getting like all your food and your drinks included when you're on the ship. So it's a great place that you can just go back to, have dinner, then get changed and go out and have an evening stroll in somewhere different. So it's a great, like what you just said, it's like a city break within your main holiday.
Yeah, I think like going around the Norwegian fjords, Norway is a very expensive place to eat and drink.
Yes.
So I think it's brilliant that you can go and explore during the day and then get back to the ship and have your wine and your dinner all served to you and not have to pay the quite expensive price. I think the last time I was in Norway, someone went into McDonald's and it was about £12 for a McDonald's meal, which kind of just gives you like the basic guide to how much things cost over there. So being able to go back to the ship is just kind of wonderful. I completely agree with what you were saying about the design. Is I've been on cruise ships before where you don't necessarily even know you're on a cruise ship because it's so indoors, it's so inside.
Yeah.
Whereas you do want to be out at sea. Now, I personally, from a cabin, I usually go inside. Main reason for that is because where I sleep at home, it's in complete darkness. And I find that even if I'm in a hotel or on a cruise ship where it's got curtains, they don't quite block out the sun for me because I sleep in complete darkness. So that's the only reason I take an inside cabin. But apart from that, I would be out all the time, out on the decks, or if you want to be in a restaurant, you do want to see that you're in sea. You don't want to be looking at a wall.
Absolutely. And what we have on our newer design ship, so Edge series of ship, we've actually got outside dining as well in a few of our restaurants. So our speciality restaurant, Raw 15, which is our sushi restaurant, that has outside dining. We've also got outside dining at our Eden Cafe. We've also got outside dining at the Ocean View Cafe. So again, whilst you've got a beautiful plate of food in front of you, you're actually sitting out seeing where you're actually sailing to and getting the experience of being on a cruise ship.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever watched it. Steve Coogan and Rob Brydon did a TV show called The Trip Around, and there was ones around Greece and there was ones around Italy. And I was always amazed at how expensive their meals are because they were always sat in the sea. And you'd be paying sort of €110 each for a meal or something like that. And you go, you can do this as part of your cruise. You can sit at sea and you can be right at sea. And also it's going past you as well. And see, I've been on cruise ships before where, you can see dolphins.
Yeah. So touching on that. So if you're talking on Greece and if anyone that's ever been to Santorini or would like to go to Santorini, it's probably one of the most Instagrammable places is the sunset in Santorini. So if you sail into Santorini with Celebrity Cruises, we actually stay till 10:30 in the evening. So you can actually see the sunset from the cruise ship. Now that is like best Instagrammable picture moment ever on any cruise ship. And that's again, like going back to what I said before, connecting with the destination that is such a key thing for anyone that wants to go to Santorini. We thought, well, why should we leave 5 o'clock when we can leave at 10:30 and give people that amazing best seat in the house watching the sunset in Santorini? I
think you'd be pretty annoyed if you've been out all day in Santorini and then you completely missed the sunset. I think it's almost like not going there really, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's such a key point of going, but you can see all them people in the hills of Oya watching the sunset, looking down on our ship thinking, I wish I was on that because that is definitely the best seat in the house for this sunset. Yeah.
And it's fantastic. You get to go to all these amazing places. I think it's about 300 different ports you go to. So There is sort of something for anyone, because I think a lot of times when people think of cruising, they think of Caribbean, Mediterranean, Norwegian fjords. But then you also got ones, for example, you can go around the Galapagos.
Yeah, we have 3 ships in the Galapagos. One is a 14-seater catamaran, so perfect for families or if anybody's wanting to do like a small bespoke business trip. A lot of people do that. We have one that holds 44 passengers, and then we have our beautiful Celebrity Flora that was introduced in 2021. So this ship, Celebrity Flora, was built just for the Galapagos, so she will go nowhere else. And it's unique to the Galapagos that the ship doesn't even have an anchor.
Oh, wow.
That won't harm the seabed. It's all done by solar. Very clever how the ship stays still, but that's how it does it purposely, because this ship was being built and it holds 100 people. It's 50 suites only. And to compare us versus other cruise lines in the Galapagos, where other cruise lines in the Galapagos will have like a beauty spa and a hairdresser on board, we actually have a science lab on board in that space.
Yeah.
So customers that are on board can see our team on board mapping the seabed, checking the sea temperature, and all of this data that we collect goes back to versities in the States, so we can, monitor the temperature drops, the mapping of the sea floor. So it's really, really exciting. Yeah, we do Galapagos, we do Antarctica. We've actually just got some sailings that are going out this week in Antarctica. We do, like I said before, Iceland. We're the only cruise ship that sails around the whole of Iceland, not just going to Reykjavik and back.
Yeah.
So it is fantastic. And we've got ships that go all the way down to Australia, Hobart, and what's the place at the bottom of Australia? Tasmania,
yes.
Tasmania, yeah, New Zealand, and then we do Hawaii as well. So with us, you really can touch every corner of the world.
Yeah, and South America as well is quite a popular way of going to South America, because I think there's places that I've always wanted to go to, but we don't really, as Brits, kind of know it that well, especially to get around. So to be able to get onto a cruise ship, you can go to Rio, go to finish in Buenos Aires, and have this amazing experience where you're going to go and see these different parts of South America without kind of having to take a lot of internal flights, because South America is a pretty big place.
It's the same as well with Asia. A lot of people want to go to these destinations, but they want the security of going back to a ship. This is going to sound really mad when I say this, but we have a lot of people that will book to go around Asia or South America because they know what food they're going to get offered when they're on board the ship. They might not necessarily want to fully immerse themselves in the destination that they're going to and eat Asian food for 2 weeks. But going back to a ship every night, we're going to take you to all of them postcard points that you want to go to. And then you know what you're going back to your home comforts. You've only unpacked once. You're not living out the suitcase. It's a real great way to see the world.
I think you hit the nail on the head, actually, is if you were traveling around Asia, for example, you'd be packing your bag every 3 days. You'd be spending an hour getting to the airport, an hour getting through customs. Then you got to get on the flight, and then you got to sit around, and then you got to get picked up again, and you got to unpack and everything like that. And then by the time you've actually got anywhere, unless you're taking overnight, well, I can't sleep on planes, then you could be quite tired actually by the time you get to there. Whereas you can be waking up nice and refreshed. You've had your orange juice in the morning, you've had your cereal, you had your breakfast, and you got to go and explore these amazing places. And then then you come back on board, and the next day you go and find somewhere else to go and explore. So
it's perfect. It's the perfect way to travel, and you're getting world-class entertainment on all of our ships, and there's lots going on. It is amazing to wake up in a new destination every day. And obviously, you wouldn't see where you woke up every morning because you stay in an inside stateroom. You have to go and have a look on deck. But if you do have a balcony stateroom, which 85% of our staterooms are balcony or outside, then it is great. It is that excitement of waking up in the morning, opening the curtains to kind of see where you are.
Yeah, I can imagine if you were docking right in the middle of the city.
Yeah. Just
seeing that, waking up and suddenly going, wow, we're in Singapore. Wow, we're in Tokyo. And being able to see that straight from your bedroom window. It's an ever-changing bedroom, really, isn't it? So speaking about sort of different foods, where's your kind of go-to when you go on board? What are you looking forward to?
So as a family, I love main dining. I love the main dining restaurant. And I know we do have specialty restaurants on board, which are fantastic. But I love the buzz of the main dining restaurant. There's a lot of people in there. It's different cultures coming in, and there's no set timing for dinner on Celebrity Cruises. So you can book your set dining if you're a traditionalist and like the 6 o'clock sit-in, or we do open dining as well. So you can just go for dinner when you're ready. And I love the main dining experience because, like I say, it's a big restaurant, busy. There's lots of atmosphere going on, and do get great choice of food, and also, like I say, great choice of wine as well. But then saying that, there's nothing that I don't love than going up to the buffet. If you've been out on an excursion all day and you just think, oh, you know what, tonight I just fancy something quick, not really wanting the sit-down dinner. When you go up to our Ocean View Cafe, I always say you can't beat an Ocean View Cafe in curry. They do the best curries on board, and you can dine around the world. So my son might have a jacket potato and a slice of pizza, and there's me eating a curry that's been made by the best chefs on board, and this is just included in our main buffet restaurant. It's fantastic. You can eat as much as you wish on board a cruise ship.
I think it's really good for families where you do get people who've got different tastes.
Yes.
It's quite hard if, for example, you want to go to one particular sort of type of restaurant that does one sort of style of food, but not everyone likes it. You kind of feel like you're putting someone out a little bit, though I think you can correct me if I'm wrong, but for example, if you are in one restaurant that is sort of specialized in something, and someone really didn't like anything, they could order off of there's like a secret menu or something, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. It's always great to speak to our maitre d's in all of our restaurants beforehand. If, like you say, you are going to a particular restaurant, they're always willing to let you look at the menu for the next few days so you can plan your cruise around which restaurants you'd like to go into. So it's a good point you've just made there, because also with wine as well. So I always say, if you go out for dinner with, say, another couple or more than another couple, and there's 6 or 7 of you sitting around a table, you tend to all say, should we have red or white? And you tend to all go with the same, all right?
Yeah.
It is a bit on a celebrity cruise. And if you've got a drink package on celebrity, and I might be having a fish starter, so I want a white wine, and someone might be having a meat starter or a meat main course and red wine. If there were 6 of you around the table, the sommelier would open 6 different bottles of wine to your tasting. So it's not all of you having the same. So you could have someone having white wine, somebody having a beer maybe, somebody having red wine, and then a child having, a juice. So I always think drinks package, it really is designed for you and you're an individual on board, as opposed to it all saying, oh, should we all have red wine or should we have white wine? Well, which one should we go for? It's a good way to think. If you've got a drinks package, you can pair the wine with what you're eating at the dinner table and not what everyone else is eating.
Yeah, it's much better than when you're on land, as you said, you do end up just having to go, we'll just share a bottle of, you choose. And whereas you can't have exactly the right, you've got all those different types of wines in the main dining. So you're going to find the right one that actually goes with, and you can have a different wine for each course as well if you really wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like I say, we have the most sommeliers at sea, so it's a culinary experience when you go for dinner with us.
Excellent. And then out of the specialty restaurants, is there one that you would recommend people to try?
God, that's a hard one. It's a real hard one.
You can have more than one if you want to.
No. You ask one, I'll go for one. I will say Le Petit Chef. Le Petit Chef is such an experience. It's a dining experience. So I don't want to share too much and give it away, but if there was 4 of you sitting around a table, you have the whole of the production presented on your table of Petit Chef and friends. So they are making your dinner for you. It's 4D animation. It is outstanding, this whole experience. And then all of a sudden, the waiters will put the food in front of you. It's been designed in front of your eyes. So it's always good to have good battery charge on your phone, because you'll be taking lots of pictures, videos and images. It's great for families, adults, couples. It's a great experience, not just for people think, oh, it's animation. It's for children. Find you have many couples that will can again and again, because we do different shows throughout the cruise. So it's a dining experience that's not just about the food that you're eating. It's a full wow experience that you can never have anywhere at sea ever.
That must be really great for kids that might find sort of eating in restaurants a bit boring, would kind of prefer to go up to the buffet. But actually, you've got a little bit of a show going on as well. So they're going to be really entertained, which means that they actually might eat something slightly healthier.
Yeah. And it's a good, when you are traveling with families, it's a good bribing tool as well. Because every kid will want to go to Le Petit Chef. It's like taking your child to London and not taking them into Hamley's toy shop. So you could say to them for 2 or 3 days, right, do this for me today. And remember, we go to Le Petit Chef on Wednesday night. So you can use it as it's a bit like Santa's coming or Santa's watching. You can use the Petit Chef as a bit of a bargaining tool. And if, you do it once on the cruise, you might be able to barter a bit more with the kids to go back again and again. But no, it is a good point.
Talking about kids and families, you've got such a wide range of activities for them to do. I don't think the kids are actually going to get bored. I think maybe the problem is actually meeting up with the kids, because they might just want to wander off and go and do their own thing. So can you tell us a little bit more about all the different kids clubs that you have?
Yeah, so people think with Celebrity Cruises that we don't cater for children. Obviously, we've got a sister brand, Royal Caribbean, that has ships, slides, rock climbing walls, and lots of fun stuff. And with us, our kids' facilities are fantastic. Like, my son's now 10 and been cruising with Celebrity since he was 5. And it's called Camp at Sea. So everything that is in our kids' facilities is on the STEM program. So science, technology, engineering and maths. So it's not, if your kids come to our children's clubs, it won't be like just face painting and PlayStations and going bear hunt. They're actually, the education is being built into the daily activities, and every single cruise, kids' itinerary is different depending on the age of the children that are on the ship, the sailing to the destinations that you're going. So the youth workers tailor every single sailing to the demographic and the age of the children. So I'll give you an example. 2 years ago, we did the 10-night Canaries sailing at Kids Half Term in October, and I went to pick up my son from the kids club, and they actually had buckets of water. They'd made ships, and they were actually, not a good thing to say it, but they were actually sinking the ships by using weights. So I thought, you're on a ship and you're sinking ships, but it was teaching that it was part of maths and science of the weights to keep the boats like afloat. So actually they were having a great time thinking of them in the kids club, but actually it's educational as well. So it was really good for them. Also, we are autism friendly, sailing at sea as well. So we have, for autistic children, we have an array of activities that are designed for autism at sea. All of our youth workers have qualifications in, obviously, childcare, but also all of them are registered to do the autism at sea as well. So that's a key thing that we don't shout about. But then also for the older children, because the older children are, they get to that teenage age and you say kids club to them and they're like, oh, go to a kids club. So we just have the hangout where the kids can just check themselves in and check themselves out. And a bit like what you said before, they can catch up with you at night time or catch up with you in the afternoon once they've been with their pals for the afternoon. They can go into their hangout area, and we've got the football tables and we've got mixing decks so they can make music, and basically they've got Wi-Fi so they can hang out and do WhatsApps and Snapchats and all the things that kids and teenagers do. But also cruising with children is such a great, safe environment for kids as well, because they're where they are on the ship, but they're somewhere on the ship. So at least that they're somewhere on the ship. And you have multi-generations families that travel. So, mum and dad, nan and granddad, aunties and uncles, and it's all great because all the different destinations we go to. You might have mum and dad that want to go and do an excursion, and you might have nan and granddad that just want to sit by the pool all day. But it's really nice that everyone can go and do that in the day and then meet up for dinner in the evening and, share their experiences and then go off to see one of our amazing shows or go along to the silent disco. And, it's a great thing for multi-generational families cruising. That's definitely getting bigger.
Yeah. Just to touch upon what you were saying about when they're on the cruise ship, they can't get off the cruise ship. They're there. You're going to always know where they are.
Absolutely.
Always going to know they're going to be looked after. They're not going to get themselves into trouble. Whereas, if you were on land and you were, say, in an all-inclusive resort somewhere, they could potentially just walk out the front door and never speak in again, because a lot of teenagers look like the middle-aged adults now anyway. So maybe people aren't going to check them. But also, that they're not going to be able to drink anything as well, because you have to hand over your cruise card to get a drink. So that look at the sneaking in any drink or getting something sneaky from the bar. So from that kind of point of view, you can really trust, because there is no way that they can kind of really get in sort of too much trouble, I think, whilst being on board.
Definitely agree.
Yeah, especially for the teenage kind of ones. But what about the cabins that you've got on board for the families?
Yeah, so with our staterooms, which is, well, like I said, 85% of our staterooms are outside facing, so either ocean view or balcony. The real good thing about our staterooms is we have a lot of interconnecting staterooms. You've got that interconnecting door, so you've got if you've got older children, you could potentially put them in the stateroom next door. 2 bathrooms as opposed to all trying to share 1 bathroom. And also, which is fantastic on board, our balconies open. So you can open the balcony. So if you want, even if you just got 2 staterooms next door to each other, you can open the balcony. So you've got 1 big balcony. So, the kids can go between the balconies to the 2 rooms, or we can have the front of on certain staterooms, we can like an extra door in. So instead of having your 2 front doors, you just have 1 main door. The 2 front doors are behind that as well. If they're, wanting that ultra luxury experience, we then have our bigger suites, and we have our retreat access as well, which have, sky suites that will hold more than 4 people in. We have our royal suites, and then we have the beautiful iconic suites on our Edge series ships, which hold up to 6.
So there's lots of different options for families, and I would love the idea
Absolutely.
that the balconies can be opened up so that you have one big, massive balcony for the whole family that you can all just sit and relax on. And then when it's time to go to bed, the kids can go, or even who's going to go to bed?
The other.
They got their own cabin. I think that's one of the problems that a lot of people have or think they're going to have on board ships, is that everyone has to go to bed at the same time, which means it's not very great if you've got sort of little ones. I always going to say for families that have got little kids is always go for a balcony. Do the opposite of me. Always go for a balcony, because you can go and sit outside with a glass of wine on the balcony whilst the kids fall asleep.
And also, if you are a family sharing one state, when you're trying to get ready for dinner, it can be quite frustrating when you're all in the same space. So if you do have that outside space, you can say to the kids or mum or dad, whoever got ready first, right, you're ready, just go sit on the balcony and give us all more space whilst you're reading a book on your iPad, the balcony. So it's giving people that outside space, so you're not all climbing over each other.
Yeah, and talking about the staterooms, just about the room service.
Yeah, so we have 24-hour room service on board Celebrity Cruises. It is chargeable. So we have just introduced a charge now for our room service. So it's $9.95 for room service. And we do a complimentary continental breakfast. So if you are going out on an excursion, or you've got children, just want to order your continentals, that is included in the cost. It is just a one cost of $9.95. So you've been out on an excursion and you just want to sit back in your room and eat a burger on the balcony, and the kids want chicken nuggets, and you want to get a pizza. You all did one order. Anything can be ordered into room service. What I like about, especially the breakfast, is if you're in a destination and wanting to get out early, you can either order TV, you can order traditional way and hang it on your stateroom door before you go to bed. They'll give you a call. So say you want it delivered at 7, at 5 to 7, they just give you a quick call to say, right, I'm on your floor, I'll be with you in the next 10 minutes. So you've got, that, get your stateroom ready, and then get the kids up for breakfast. What we tend to do is, when we travel with our son, is order son breakfast to be delivered. You know what kids are like? As soon as they wake up, the first thing they say is, hungry? No. We then order cereal and some fruit, and then when we're ready to go for breakfast, he'll then have another breakfast. But it just gives that, tea and coffee ordered as well, because we love a cup of tea in the morning, don't we?
I think I like the idea of double breakfasting. This does sound like a good...
Yeah, it's the way forward.
It's something good thing to go and have that. What kind of stuff would you actually get on board on a breakfast? Would it be sort of like the continental breakfast, or is there cooked breakfast as well?
Yeah, absolutely. You can order anything off of the menu. Just the continental is the free option. Yeah, anything you want. Yeah, absolutely. Full cooked breakfast, put out on your balcony for you if you wish. Juices, array of juices, or different teas and coffees. Yeah, anything you wish. Anything you can think of as what you would expect in a luxury hotel. So we're a luxury resort, just happen to be at sea. So it's the same as what you would get in a luxury hotel.
Yeah, I think that's a great way of looking at it, is that if you've never been on a cruise ship before, think of it as a luxury hotel that happens to have different destinations every day. Absolutely, and this amazing window that changes all the time.
Yeah, definitely. So it's that luxury resort, because we're not formal. We don't expect people to wear dicky bows in the evening like traditional cruising. We have a evening chic dress code, which is what you feel comfortable in. So if you want to go for dinner in a nice pair of jeans and a shirt, you can. Or if you just want to go for dinner in a pair of chinos and you do want to wear a jacket, you won't feel out of place. If you wanted to wear a shirt and a jacket, so it's that relaxed luxury resort at sea of what you would expect from a good quality hotel in the UK or in Europe.
Yeah, I think that's very important, because a lot of people's perception of a cruise is that it's going to be a bit like Titanic, is you have to all be dressed up 24/7 in suits and things like that. And, a lot of cruise ships do have formal nights, but I think it's great from my point of view is that I like being able to feel comfortable. I don't wear suits particularly often, and I don't want to wear one when I'm on holiday. I want to be relaxed, and especially if I'm eating as well, I find it very weird to eat in a suit. It's a bit of an odd kind of thing to kind of do.
Yeah.
So by having a more relaxed sort of dress code and and the vibe on board the ship as well is very kind of relaxed of atmosphere, isn't it? And I think that kind of builds in a lot with the shows, because the shows aren't kind of formal shows, if you like. There's a bit of a sort of showcase for everything, really, isn't there? So
yeah, definitely. So we have a production team on board all of our ships that will do amazing West End style shows, but we also have headliners that we fly in from all around the world. And, you know, some of the amazing headliners that have been on shows such as The X Factor, Britain's Got Talent, not just from the UK. We've got amazing singers from, you know, America's Got Talent. We've got amazing singer Claire that sings on our Edge series ships, and she was in the finals of Amsterdam. Netherlands have got talent. You know, we bring in the best people and best bands, and, you know, especially on our new ships, our Edge series ships, theatres don't even have a curtain, because the stage is designed to come right out into the middle of the room. So every seat is the best seat in the house. It's not a traditional theatre style where you're all lined up. It's a round theatre with big 10 moving LED screens to really make the production pop. That is fantastic. And then we have, you know, amazing bands all around the ship, you know, singing and entertainment going on all around the ship. So it's not just going to the theatre. You could be in the Grand Plaza on our Edge series ships, and we've got amazing singers or pianists up on the lawn club playing. You know, there's always something different that will suit everybody.
I think there's was it Raining Rocks and Husk and Groove? Those are all kind of different.
Got amazing like rock bands that go on. Our Lady Valentine, for instance, and Claire Madden, and some amazing headliners that will come in just for your sailing, which is great.
I was having a little look at some of the shows on board, and you've got it's got Elements and Stage Door and Art.
Yeah.
And then Crystallized look very different. Not kind of what you expect to see on a cruise ship, is it?
No, it's not. Like I say, because we're not the traditional cruise line. Like we don't even have a curtain in our theatre. So there's no curtain call. The stage comes out into the middle of the theatre, and the screens move. Are part of the production show. It is absolutely amazing. So when you're watching shows like Art, the production team are actually walking through the screens, and it is absolutely outstanding to watch it. You think, as soon as you leave the theatre, you're like, right, what show's on tomorrow night? I want to come back tomorrow night and see the show again. Yeah.
And it's that thing that if you went to, say a West End show or some other kind of something of the same kind of quality, how much you'd have to pay to go and see those kind of shows in the West End. And you're going to get that either before your dinner or after your dinner.
Yeah.
The drinks with it as well. You can't do this on land, really, can you?
No, the value for money on board a cruise is stand. If you think of the entertainment that you get in, the quality of food that you get in, you know, going to different destinations, the amazing accommodation, the service on board, you know, it is, when you add it all up, it is great value for money. And we do 2 price options. So we do a cruise only price, which is, as it is on the tin, it's cruise only. So you pay for your cruise and pay drinks when you're on board, your tips and Wi-Fi, etc. A lot of people that cruise want to go and see the destination. So they're off first thing in the morning and they're back last thing at night. They really immerse themselves in the destination that they're going to. So they see the cruise only as the best option for them, because they think, well, why pay for a drinks package if I'm going to be out most of the day because I'm seeing this destination? But then if you want to do a drinks package, you can do a drinks package. So the second price option is a all-included option. So it's depending on what sailing you're going on. It's around between £55 and £60 now per person per day. But that will include all of your drinks, Wi-Fi for everybody in your party, and also prepaid gratuities as well. So all gratuities on board, and your service charges are paid for in that. So great value for money. If you think our drinks package, for instance, is branded drinks package. So you're getting like Gordon's Gin, and you're getting Tia Maria. I'm just seeing some names now. Proper Bacardi, Malibu. It's all branded drinks. And I always say it's always nice if you ask for a G&T that you actually get a brand that you know. You also get given like a can of tonic. So it's not like the fountain tonic that comes out the
No.
push button machines.
Yeah.
It's always a good tonic, so you know that it's good quality. So if you think for £60 or up to £60 a day for drinks, tips and Wi-Fi, again, looking at a relaxed 4-star hotel, how much would you pay for one gin and tonic in a nice bar? £12-13?
Yeah, quite a lot. I mean, I live in Paris, and a G&T in Paris is, I mean, even in a regular normal bar is at least €10, let alone before going anywhere decent. So
Yeah.
you have a couple of drinks, you prepaid for your tips, you got your Wi-Fi as well.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to always be alcohol as well. You don't have.
That's a good point. And, some people say, oh, well, actually, I don't drink, so I'm not going to get the benefit of it. You actually, everybody drinks in the day and through the day. We've got an amazing barista coffee shop on board, Cafe Al Baccio. Now, warning here, when you go to Cafe Al Baccio, you have to have one of the cakes because they're just absolutely divine. So my favourite is a little lemon tart. Oh, unfortunately, I have to have two every time I go. So warning there.
Well,
You've got, but yeah, so included in drinks package is all the specialty coffees. So cafe macchiatos or your iced lattes, vanilla shot lattes, anything that you want is included in the drinks package. We've also got bottled water, vitamin waters included in, also non-alcoholic frozen and unfrozen cocktails as well. So if you are sitting by the pool, fancy a nice fruit juice, frozen or unfrozen, that's included in as well. So it's not just the alcohol that's included as well. It's like I say, the vitamin waters, the premium teas, everything in Cafe Al Baccio as well.
I mean, how much would, if you were going to go to a Starbucks or a Pret a Manger, how much would a latte cost you there? It's about £4, something like that?
Yeah, but as for 2 large lattes here, about £7-8 for 2.
Yeah.
And a cake on the side, that knocks it up to £12.
and then grab a bottle of water to take back as well. I mean, those vitamin waters aren't particularly cheap. I mean, even again, very strange thing in France here, where I live, is that non-alcoholic cocktails are sometimes the prices alcoholic cocktails.
Yeah,
very weirdly.
Yeah.
So if you want to have if you're having a pina colada and the kids they can have a cocktail as well. They don't just have to have.
I think the famous cocktail for my son is the mudslide cocktail. So where they put the chocolate sauce all the way around the glass and then fill it with like crushed ice chocolate. Yeah, that's the favourite non-alcoholic in the family when we're on board.
So don't add that before going to bed. That sounds like a lot of sugar.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
But you also have energy drinks on board as well, don't you?
Yeah, we do energy drinks on board as well. So again, we have all the Red Bulls on board, etc. So all different flavours as well, which you can't normally get around the world. But yeah, so energy drinks on board. And if you are going for the waters, it's the Evian water and San Pellegrino. So yeah, it's like I say, it's a very good drink package.
It's what I love about Celebrity is that it's not locally branded.
Yeah, like an all-inclusive hotel in the Med, which you could, you don't actually know what you're drinking. At least here you can have your branded drinks and you know what you're getting.
Yeah, you're actually getting the quality stuff that the brands that and you can obviously try different things, because what I really love about being on a cruise ship is just trying things. And after a couple of days, the crew do get to know what you like to drink, and they suggest things as well. I've had it before when they've suggested, why don't you try this cocktail instead, or should we make it with this, but we'll add something else extra into it as well, just to make it a bit different.
So you're saying that she was experimental.
I don't mind being experimented on.
That's what you say. Yeah,
they want to experiment and give me different cocktails and whatnot. Then I'm absolutely.
We'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, the crew on board as well. If you want to sort of tell us a little bit more about the crew, they're outstanding, aren't they?
Yeah, we are, and we're really proud of our crew on board. And we recruit crew from all around the world. So we have crew from all around the world. So this is part of what Celebrity Cruises is really proud of, is our diversity and inclusion from the top all the way down. So our president and CEO, Lisa Lutoperlo, is really proud. So since she's come on board at Celebrity Cruises, we've raised our female officers on the bridge from 2% to 33%.
Wow.
So we are really proud of, what we do. And like I say, we recruit from all around the world. So I know some certain cruise lines will only recruit from certain parts of the world, but we have a real diverse crew on board. They absolutely love working for celebrities. So just after the pandemic, we got 16 ships to staff 16 ships is a mean operation. And 85% of our crew were returning crew after the pandemic. So that just speaks volume of how, as a company, look after them. They wanted to come back to us as a brand and work for Celebrity Cruises when they could have gone anywhere at that stage because the whole of the cruise industry was shut down, and jobs were back on the agenda for everybody. But 85% of our crew actually returned to Celebrity Cruises, so I think that speaks volume in itself.
I think when you have a happy crew that comes across.
Oh yeah, you definitely see that, and we see that in the questionnaires that get sent at the end of the cruise and the little gifts that people take to go back on board our ship. And our crew move around different ships, and you'll go on, and you might not have been on for maybe a year or even over a year, and someone will just look at you and they think, and they come up to you and go, I recognise you. And obviously, because I work for Celebrity, I go on board with my son, and they say to me, "Oh, where's your son?" Because I holiday on board I holiday on board our ships as well. So it's like, and they do remember you, and they remember what you like to drink, and they're really. It's with us, it's personal. They're similar to you at Travel Counsellors. It's with you, it's personal, and it's their home. These cruise ships, although we go on it for 10 days of the year, 10 days of a year for a holiday. These people live on board the ship. This is their home. So they want to be enjoyable in the workplace, but they just happen to live there as well.
I think you can definitely kind of see it when you go on board the ships. And you know what? You could go on technically the best ship in the world and with the best everything. But if the crew are unhappy, that service is going to be terrible. And you're not going to have a great cruise. The physical ship is obviously one part of it, but the crew really do make a massive difference, don't they?
Absolutely. And we have obviously been around a long time, Celebrity Cruises, and we've got some newer ships that we launch in, our Edge series ships. But our older ships that we've got, our older hardware, and I hate saying that word hardware, but the older ships that we do have actually get the highest NPS score, so our net promoter score, which customers say would they recommend this cruise to others when they get off. Our highest is in our older fleet of ship because people love the ships. The crew love working on them ships. They ask to return to them ships, even though they have the opportunity of going to newer ships. They love the feel of our older ships because it's like at home, it's like putting slippers on. So it's they love it. So don't underestimate, like what you said, the crew can really make it for you when you're on board the ship.
Yeah, I think it's about sort of being part of a family, isn't it?
Yes.
If you can quickly sort of tell us about, I think one thing that sort of puts some people off going on cruising is if you need accessible travel, you might feel that a cruise might not be for you. But I think Celebrity is one of those cruise lines that actually they've cracked accessible travel quite well, haven't they?
Yeah, so we have accessible staterooms. So this is really easy for Travel Counsellor to find on our systems. We've made it really easy for them. We have also dialysis at sea. So if you need dialysis delivered to the ship, we can arrange that for you. We also have accessible excursions. So again, one of our brand pillars, like I spoke at the beginning, was about connecting you with the destination. So don't feel that if you are a little less mobile or in a wheelchair, can't go and see the destinations because we have accessible staterooms. But something that Celebrity Cruises has done with our new series of ship. So you'll see our Edge series of ship. So we've got Celebrity Edge, Celebrity Apex, Celebrity Beyond, and Celebrity Ascent that's coming this November. You'll see on the side of it this beautiful orange magic carpet.
Yes.
Now you think, what is this attached to the side of the ship? This thing. So when we were designing the ship, so again, going back to what I said at the beginning about design of our ships, we want to connect you with the world. So what the magic carpet does is if you were in a destination, use Santorini for experience, we can't actually dock in Santorini. That's too shallow. So we have to tender you from the ship to the destination. So with the magic carpet, it will be down on deck 3. If you're in Santorini as an example, so you'll want to go into Santorini, you'll go down to the magic carpet. You will walk straight from the magic carpet to our tenders, our exclusive edge tenders, without taking any steps up or down.
Wow.
Wow. So if you're on a different cruise line, and the gangway can be like quite horizontal and the waves are crashing, you think, oh my God, you've got 2 or 3 members of staff helping down a jittery gangway. The magic carpet was solely designed to connect people that are less mobile with the destination. So you will walk straight from the magic carpet onto the edge liner without taking any steps up or down.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So then we thought, oh God, now what do we do with this? Because not every port needs a tender experience. So then the magic carpet is multifunctional. So it doesn't move up and down whilst anybody's on it. It's not a lift. So some people think, does it take you from deck 16 all the way down to deck 3? It's not that. It will be down on deck 3 if you were in a tender port. If you're not in a tender port, then at lunchtime it will be on deck 5. So it would be an extension of our Raw on 5 sushi restaurant. So you can dine al fresco. And then the afternoon and the evening, it will be up on deck 16 and it turns into a cocktail bar. So you can have a sundowner just as before you're about to go and get ready for dinner, or you can sit out there at 10 at night whilst sailing around the Med or the Caribbean. So multifunctional. So again, connecting with the sea. You can't get much closer than being in a cantilever magic carpet, which is the size of a tennis court and holds over 100 people.
Yeah, I've seen the pictures and videos of it. It does look amazing, and it's something completely different that no other ship has got anything. It's a very cool thing as well. No other ship has got anything like this as well. And the fact that it's multifunctional just means that you've got so much diversity. You're saying if you want to have sushi lunchtime, but then in the evening you can have a cocktail in the same place.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it'll help get on and off in certain destinations as well. So again, just touching on our design, that's what we design the ship for, to connect you with the destination.
Yeah. I remember trying to get off I think it was in Guernsey or something like that, and then trying to get onto a tender, and it was a bit choppy, and it was a bit up and down. And I was okay, but the people I was with, they didn't have a fantastic experience. So it sounds like if they were obviously on Celebrity or using the magic carpet, it would have been a breeze. Would have been onto the tender ship quite easily. Yeah,
and like I say, the edge liners are designed to come right the way up to the magic carpet, so it's just walking straight onto from one platform to another without any steps up or down. So fantastic.
Yeah. And then Celebrity always seem to be a brand new ship. Always seem to be teasing us with brand new ships.
We've been really lucky with our last series of ships. We've got Edge series of ships which have been launched since 2021. We launched then Apex. We launched Beyond last year in 22. We've got Celebrity Ascent. She will be launching with us this November, so November 23 in the Caribbean. She's currently in the shipyard in France, and she's actually having her float out this week, so the first time she'll actually touch water. And then we've got one more Edge series ship to come in another couple of years. So yeah, always exciting. So it's like saying if you've been on a Celebrity cruise once, you need to kind of come back again to see what we're doing with the newer ships.
Yeah, well, you've got 16 ships at the moment, sort of to go and try out. So if you've done one cruise in one, I think with a lot of people, what I say when people go on the first cruise is book the cruise for the ports, not necessarily the ship.
Yes.
Yeah. Then afterwards, when you're going back on for a second or third time, look more at the ship itself, because you're going to want to go and do all these really exciting or relaxing things. And actually, the ship is more important or just as important as the ports.
Yes.
The first time you go is mainly about the port. But the thing is, if you're somewhere where you do need to go on a tent, for example, if it's bad weather, you might not be able to actually go. So you do have to look at actually what is on board the ships.
Yeah.
Which you do have amazing things on board the ship. So even if you can't get off for a day or just don't fancy getting off for the day, I've done it before. I've just hung around the ship.
There's lots going on board, isn't there? Always something going on.
Always something going on. You could just chill out by the pool. You can go and relax and go get a couple of drinks. Or and as you said, you've ridden the port for a long time, so you don't actually have to get off for the whole day. You could just get off for the afternoon, have a lie in, have a breakfast or something like that. And I think that's great thing about Celebrity, as you said, is that you've got the longer time in the port as opposed to just sort of hit and run that you get with some of the other cruise lines.
Definitely.
Time you can go and explore, you can go and do some cruise, the shore excursions as well. So tell us what's coming up next for Celebrity.
So what's coming up next? We're really excited that Celebrity Ascent will be joining the fleet in November. She will be in the Caribbean. Also, what's new for this year is we will actually have a ship sailing in Europe all year round, which we've never, ever had before. We normally put all of our ships back out in the Caribbean around the end of October. This year, for 2023, we're going to have Celebrity Infinity sailing out of Lisbon, Barcelona and Athens throughout the winter season. So people are looking for that winter sun destination and not wanting to cruise from Southampton and do the lovely Bay of Biscay. They can fly directly to the Barcelona, Lisbon, or Athens and pick up one of our amazing itineraries in the Med this winter. So that's new for us. So that's definitely something to look out for. We've also got Celebrity Silhouette. She will be having her last season out of Southampton. So Celebrity Silhouette has been based in Southampton for around 7 years now, doing the May to October season. So she'll be having her last season with us in 2023. So if you've been on Celebrity Silhouette before and you want to say goodbye to her, she'll be having a departing season this year. Really excited is that Celebrity Apex, so one of our newest series of ship, will be based out of Southampton in 2024. So this is on sale now and going up to beautiful destinations of the Norwegian fjords and the Baltic capitals and going down to the Canaries. But we're also, for us next year, is we're going high up as the Arctic Circle.
Wow.
Yeah. So imagine being on the magic carpet that I just spoke about in the Arctic Circle, having a nice warm hot chocolate.
Yes.
The amazing Northern Lights.
That sounds amazing. I mean, and going out of Southampton, because I think that's what some people, first-time cruisers, put off by the flying. I mean, if you don't like flying, it's doing fantastic. You can just go straight out of Southampton, just drive down, coach away, go down to Southampton. And you're going to be able to get to some really amazing destinations. Sometimes when you think, I've got to go out of Southampton, think, I'm kind of stuck with just sort of a couple of itineraries. But to be able to go to the Arctic Circle, and to be sit on the magic carpet at night and have a hot chocolate, that sounds amazing. Something that you would normally have to have probably gone to Alaska or something to go and do. So going up that far as well. I don't think there's any other cruise ship from the UK that goes up that far, is there?
No. So that's what we're always trying to do, something different to attract new cruisers to the brand, but also keeping our traditional cruisers happy with, a newer ship out of Southampton. Because some people, like you said, don't like flying. They do just like that, traveling out of the UK, take as much luggage as they like with it. But then we've also got options of flying around the world as well. So we're going to have 7 ships in Europe this summer. 3, obviously, our newest ships will all be in Europe this summer. We've got 2 ships based out of Australia. We've got 3 ships based in Alaska, 3 ships based in the Galapagos. So we really do have the world covered.
Pretty much anywhere you want to go, you're going to be covered. As long as there's an ocean, as long as there's a sea.
Yes, absolutely.
Not in Switzerland, but pretty much anywhere else you can be able to go to, you're pretty much covered. I think that's what's great about Celebrity is it's not just the same old routine. When people are looking to do the second or third cruises, that's when they think, I'll try something a bit more adventurous as opposed to what they've done before. And that's why I think a lot of people are now going to Asia and they're going to South America and they're exploring all these amazing destinations from the comfort of the beautiful ships.
Absolutely. Yes. What a way to see the world.
Excellent. Yeah. I mean, if you had one piece of advice for a first-time cruiser, what would it be?
Don't be scared. There's lots of questions. There's lots of people here that can help you out with questions and answers. And no question is a silly question. Like, everyone's holiday is different. Everyone's experiences are different. So don't shy away not doing a cruise because there might be a few questions, again, like what we've touched on today. Dress code, drinks packages, tipping. All of these are barriers that some people think, it just seems a bit complicated cruising, but it's actually really simple. So don't be scared to ask. Really, I think once you've done a cruise, you'll be hooked. You'll want to cruise again and again. But yeah, kind of dip your toe in the water and don't be afraid to Try something different.
Try something different. I'm sure you're going to love it. And obviously, speak to us so we can find out what the sort of best cruise for you is going to be. But Michael, thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us today. It's been absolutely
more than welcome. Thanks for having me. Fabulous. Thanks for having me. Speak soon.